Hey, welcome in and thank you for joining as we continue through the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign with the second scenario, Batroc. We're going to continue on here and look where we are. So we're in the scenario number 2. We have Nick Fury and Maria Hill talking about how the AIM scientists are abducting Inhumans all around the country, and unofficially, Nick Fury and Maria Hill, aka now just Gwen Stacy and Ghost Spider, are going to go in and see what Batroc is up to and get down to business. So we are looking to infiltrate the AIM Island Embassy, locate the missing person, and extract the captives. So in this, we're going to set up the villain here. We have Expert Batroc. Each of the rescued captives are set aside. The alert level is in the low side, and in expert mode we place 2 onto there. We'll flip up, and this comes in with 6. So our goal is to get through thwarting in this game, and honestly, as I've been playtesting Batroc, I'm finding him to be a real challenge for me, and so that is either, maybe my deck building isn't up to stuff right now. It also might be, maybe Gwen Stacy just isn't working with him, but it's been a challenge. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this playthrough goes in a more official aspect. And yeah, we'll get rolling with that. So that's the villain setup. The campaign here is going to be place threat on the alert level equal to the number of minions in side scheme. Fortunately, which is 0, because if it was at least 2, if we had a minion in a side scheme out last game, this would start on high, and I don't think we'd make it through the game. Each of the shield officers were set at 0 tokens after our last game. The copies of the AIM interference are shuffled into the encounter deck. And it's interesting, it says AIM interference obligation, but it's definitely a treachery. So that's interesting. But let's see. After resolving the mulligans, we do have a setup card that we can go get a justice support or put it into play. We're not doing that. We're going to be playing protection, and there's no justice supports that are really going to be helpful for us. So, we could add a counter and add a threat to go get an extra resource in our starting hand, but that's just not something I'm looking to do right now. So in the expert campaign, we have 9 hit points remaining, and yeah, that is that. So that's the setup for this. We're going to jump onto Batroc's secret hiding place here and try to keep the alert level low. So with that, let's shuffle up the encounter deck here, and then we'll shuffle up the player deck and get started. So we're going here, here. All right, so down to business here. We're playing protection. Not the perfect defense deck that we played last time. I tried to get something with a little more stuns involved so that we can take advantage of the vulnerable of all the minions that are coming out, but we'll see how it goes. So we are going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So let's see. We get the power of protection. We'd like to see that. Pirouette and punch. Pirouette and punch. What doesn't kill me? Web binding and silk. So with this hand, it would be nice to play silk to get rid of one of the AIM interferences. But the rest of these cards, I think we can trash, because we only have 9. We're only missing 1 health, which means I don't think we can do what doesn't kill me, because we would have to heal 2 damage from our hero. We can only heal 1. Web binding is nice for the next turn, but we want to see what else we can get in our first hand. So we'll hang on to what we have to play silk and see what else we can get. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We get a Phantom Flip. That's fantastic. A Come Get Me Bub, which is okay. A Thwip Thwip. That's awesome. And Iceman. Wow. So honestly, Iceman is huge in this. I mean, Thwip Thwip is awesome because we get the stuns. But getting Iceman down this early would be awesome because he's immediately just pinging out the minions, and then we can get Silk down. or at least like we know we're getting Iron Man down. Silk's not as important. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. So nothing we can do in Ultra Ego. We are going to flip up into hero form and consider what we want to do. So our options, right? We can either hang on to, we're definitely playing Iceman either way, but then we can decide if we want to either say, you know, we could play a Come Get Me Bub and then hang on to like either a Phantom Flip or a Thwip Thwip. Maybe Silk. Silk is good as well. So yeah, Iceman really opened up our options here. So, because he's going to be taking care of those minions. I mean, we could get down an Iceman and stun Batroc on this first turn. That might not be too terrible. We cancel his activation coming up. We have Iceman down for any crazy allies or minions that would come out. We're not too worried about the threat right now because we could also Phantom Flip. Phantom Flip automatically gets rid of this. That's actually not too bad either. Wow, so we have a lot of choices here, right? This is pretty crazy. Iceman and Silk getting 2 allies down. We have getting Iceman and a Phantom Flip. We have Iceman and a Come Get Me Bub. Wow, so this is a ton of choices. That's crazy. Thwip Thwip is awesome, but I don't think we're gonna end up needing that. If we play Iceman and a Come Get Me Bub, that essentially cancels out. Let's see, Iceman, Come Get Me Bub. Maybe we spend these 2 to get rid of the alert levels, and then we worry about thwarting down a bit later on. I kind of like that. With the infinite amount of choices we have here, let's just go with what we're leaning towards. So I'm going to play Iceman using a Power Protection and Silk. Again, one of our options we could have played, but he's coming in with 3 freeze counters on him. I'll just use single tokens. And then after a minion enters play, we can remove a freeze counter to stun that minion. And then, yeah, why not? Let's see, because we might be able to get a minion that we can just get rid of with Come Get Me Bub. And then what would that do? That would get us a heal. I mean, what does that actually do for us in hindsight is what I'm trying to think. Because if we... Let's see. Yeah, I am kind of liking this. The Phantom Flip makes sense, but I kind of want to build a little more before rushing through this. Okay, we're playing the Come Get Me Bub. The reason why is I could play a Thwip Thwip that stuns him, gives us the damage, but we're still at a pretty high alert level, whereas if I play this, he would just add 1 next turn, and then we'd take the hit. I like that. Okay, we're doing it. We're playing a Come Get Me Bub. Gonna risk it here to see what we end up getting. We're gonna discard, so we get an Aim Soldier. He does not have, what's it called? Does not have, vulnerable. But when revealed, we have to go find the AIM Scientist, who does have vulnerable. So let's go find that AIM Scientist, who comes into play. Response from Iceman after a minion enters play will remove 1 freeze counter and stun AIM Scientist, who is vulnerable, which means he's going to get discarded. Boom. Just like that. He's out of here. And AIM Scientist can't be attacked when another minion's involved, but that's not an attack. So Aim Soldier, we might just go ahead and get rid of him because let's see what we can do. Aim Soldier, yeah, I feel like I want to get rid of Aim Soldier, honestly. So we could attack for 2 with Ghost Spider, and then attack for 2 with Iceman. That's going to get rid of him. That will add 1 to the alert level, but no more patrol. We're going to spend these 2 resources to bring back the alert level. So we're back to where this is just going to end up. Oh, I spent 2, so 2 would go. But what this is going to end up back at 2 alert level, but that's okay. who knows what the best choice there was. If you're watching, maybe you do, but I also, come get me Bob, I forgot to heal, so that would bring us up to 10. And then we get our tough status card. So Batroc's just going to attack into that. We have Iceman, we're feeling good. Yeah, so that was a cool first turn where we had so many different choices we could do. So we're going to go Iron Fist, Thwip Thwip, Ticket to the Multiverse, George Stacy, and Not Today. Wow, okay, I like what I'm seeing here. As a quick thought, I could probably play George Stacy, hang on to a Thwip Thwip, or use it. Oh man, Iron Fist would be great to get down, but we'll see what we do. Let's see. All right, so actually, yeah, Iron Fist would be huge. That might be the move, Thwip Thwip and Not Today for Iron Fist, and then hang on to a George Stacy. That could be the move. So we go over to here. One's going to go on the main. Batroc is going to attack, but we're just going to take it because of our tough. So he's attacking for 2 plus 1, so he's attacking for 3. Pings off our tough. 1 goes onto the alert level here. And then we get our encounter card, which is going to be an Embassy Guard with Vulnerable. So he comes in. After a minion enters play, remove 1 freeze counter from Iceman. That goes on Embassy Guard. And he's not being defeated, he is being discarded because of Vulnerable. The alert level is not on its high side, so this doesn't gain Surge, and Embassy Guard goes away. So that is that. Iceman's putting in work, and it comes back to us. So let's see what we can do. Iron Fist sounds real nice right about now. Yeah, let's think. So we can do 2, Thwip Thwip. We could take a damage. Iron Fist plays George Stacy and we hang on to a Not Today. I like the idea of getting Iron Fist down, honestly, so let's use Ticket to the Multiverse, Not Today, and Thwip Thwip to go ahead and put Iron Fist into play. So when he comes in with 2 counters. So we have 2 Mystic counters. When he attacks an enemy, we remove 1 Mystic counter. We stun an enemy and deal 1 damage to it. So we will hang on to George Stacy. We will use Iron Fist to, when he attacks, remove a counter, stun Batroc, deal damage to him down to 11. And then we're still attacking for 2, so that goes through. So he's down to 10, 9 health. Iceman, let's see, this could go up to 8 out of 12, or we can bring it back down to 5 with thwarting with each of these. I'm trying to think what we would want to do with Ghost Spider and Iceman. So Iceman could do 4 more damage, bring Batroc down to 5 health, or we can bring this down to 5 because this, an advance would kill us if this goes up to 8, like really likely. So I think it's a little, not what I really want to do, I guess, but I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and thwart 2 off the main, because it would at least go up to 6, and we do want to get rid of this eventually, so we'll do that. I mean, knocking him down to 0 health. Let's see, if we bring him down to 5, then next turn the attacks here crush him and 6 gets removed from there. No, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. I'm just taking this because if Batroc gets his card that blocks attacks, then our whole thing gets canceled. So that's what we're doing. Okay, making choices here. We will live with that. We're going to ready up, hang on to George Stacy. Alert level's at 2. We would ideally like to bring that down, but let's see what we can do. George Stacy, strength, energy, okay. Web bracelet, and a phantom flip. This is looking good right now. All right, we like what we're seeing. My initial thoughts would be maybe definitely getting a web bracelet down, removing 2, and then probably using phantom flip to get George Stacy down, but we'll see what we do. Again, we're trying to build right now, at least a little bit. Right now we don't have any building pieces, but hopefully next turn we will. Goes over to here. This goes up to 6. Goes over to Batroc. He is stunned. We get our encounter card. It is, security cameras. So that's tough. It doesn't change what we were planning on mostly, though. That's okay. So for each character we control, we either need to exhaust that character or place one threat on alert level. So in this case, we're going to exhaust Iceman. We want to get down, we're going to get at least 2 down on alert level. This would probably be our plan here. So we can exhaust Ghost Spider, and then Iron Fist we don't have to, because then we can stun him next turn still, and we'll add 1. So yeah, we'll add 1 for Iron Fist. Goes up to 3, but that's okay. Comes over to us. We're going to just do what we looked for there. We're going to use 2 resources to play a Web Bracelet. We will spend 2 to bring down the alert level. And then we will spend a Phantom Flip. Right, a Phantom Flip would have been nice to play this turn as well, but we're already exhausted. So either way, now we don't have to think that much about it. I'm going to use that Phantom Flip to go ahead and play George Stacy. So at least he is down, ready to hang on to our events if we get a chance. One unfortunate thing too about this level, or this villain with George Stacy, I'm going to move these down a bit, is that those extra resources, those extra events we might be left with that we want him to hang on to, we kind of want to use to get down the alert level, but that is what it is. We're going to go ahead and use Iron Fist. When he attacks, we're going to remove 1 Mystic counter. We're going to stun an enemy and deal 1 damage to it. So he will go down to 8, and then the 2 more from the attack, which is going to bring him down to 6 health. And that's all we can do. So we're not flying through the threat here. When I've done that previously, it hasn't worked out too great for me. So hopefully we're making okay moves here. We're going to ready everyone up. It's pretty risky to flip down, and we have our stun. So we're just going to stay up here and hopefully see what we can do. So we already drew 2 of our Phantom Flips. So our thwart cards aren't looking great right now, but we're going to draw 5. Parental Guidance, Ghost Kick, that's awesome. What Doesn't Kill Me, Phantom Flip, okay, and a Spider Tingle. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. My quick thoughts for next turn could be playing a Spider Tingle, then playing a Ghost Kick, which would bring him down to 0, and then take 6 off of here with our 1 thwart, would bring this down, and then we'd be at least a little set up, which I wouldn't mind seeing. So with all that, we will go over to his turn and see what he has for us. So we're going over here. 1 goes on the main, up to 7. He goes to attack, but he's stunned. We will get in counter card. That is going to be, the worst. The last thing we would want to see is aim interference. So we can, this comes in with Insight 1. Even a bigger bummer, we will place 1 secret counter on each board member, or we can spend energy resources to prevent those. So let's think. All of these only have 1 on them, and they offer some stuff for us in the future to use, right? So I could prevent 2 of those and still do our Ghost Kick, but I'm giving up the Spider Tingle to do that. The Spider Tingle kind of sounds pretty good. Right now I don't mind putting 1 on each of these. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, because that opens up later on. We can, if we need to threat removal, if we need to damage, healing, we have options here. Yeah, let's see. If we only get rid of 1, yeah, we're still kind of out of cards. The Phantom Flip is going to draw us a card when we play it. So let me do that. I can spend 1 energy resource on the Parental Guidance to go ahead and prevent 1 of these. And I don't know if we'll need the healing that much, so we could do that. So I'm not too worried about healing Iron Fist and Iceman once their tokens are gone. Okay, we'll do it that way, because now the card we draw with Web Bracelet can ideally play Spider Tingle. Okay, so that was... what was that? That was our encounter card because he was stunned. Okay, so now we are not going to be stunning him anymore, but that's okay. Comes back over to us. Let's stick with our plan here. We will thwart for 1. We're going to remove 1 from the scheme here. We will now, after Ghost Spider, Ghost Kick, after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, deal 6 damage to an enemy. We'll spend 2 to do that. He goes down to 0, and then his Force Interrupt, when he would be defeated, he goes back to 12, and then 6th threat gets removed from the main scheme. So now there's 1. We activate because of our hero or because of our dizzying reflexes, readies us, and then we draw a card with Web Bracelet. It is a specialized training. Ooh, so that's interesting as well. So now we have some options here. I think we will go ahead and just thwart for 2. Or sorry, thwart for our 1 to move this along. This is gonna, I think when this is defeated, yeah, nothing crazy happens there. We're gonna go locate some missing persons. So in this one, when the last threat would be removed, we put aside, 1 set aside rescued captive into play. This comes in with 3. And then we can either choose to advance or continue rescuing the captives. We want to rescue all these captives, so we're gonna try to do that. And now we have some interesting choices. Specialized training is awesome, and we could get that down. And we probably should get that down, honestly, but I like the idea of Spider Tingle right now in case something comes out that would crush us, like an aim interference. Or I could remove 2. That's an option too. Could use these to remove 2 from here and then go rescue a captive. That's also a good move. Let's see. No, you know what? I want to get Spider Tingle down. We're going to go ahead and do that. That might not be the best move, but we do want to kind of take some damage as well, so we can use our What Doesn't Kill Me's as well. So, you know, there's different options. We saw a few there, but this is the one we're going with. Playing Spider Tingle, getting ready here. Well, let's think. Do we want Iceman and Iron Fist to activate? Our Iceman still has his token on him, but yeah, let's use... you know what? I don't know. Let's keep Iron Fist around for now. We're not about to deck out, so I'm not worried about him getting back into the shuffle. And I would like to see maybe next turn he can help thwart when we need it a little more. We can see where we need it. Yeah, I don't want to make that choice right now, so we're just going to flip up. We're going to hang on to Iron Fist because it doesn't seem like there's any foul in doing that. And then we're going to draw our 5 cards here. So we're drawing a Not Today. That's pretty nice. A Thwip Thwip. Come Get Me Bub. Another Spider Tingle. And a Not Today. Wow. Okay. So let's think. Some of our options here, immediate thoughts, is these are all mental counters. So we could, you know, say use 2 to get rid of that. We could, we know we're going to be, if we play a Not Today, we know we're going to be drawing a card. Come Get Me Bub is nice, but I don't really care to use that right now while we have a lot of health. So I might use this to do a Not Today this time around. Yeah, let's think about it. We're going to go over. One's going on the main scheme. Batroc is going to attack, which we will defend. And, right, I could just take it, not use a Not Today. Twip Twip next turn to stun him. Yeah, just going through the options here. If I don't use a Not Today, he attacks us, and then we don't get to continue through here. Draw a card. Yeah, I almost... But if we do get to... I'm just thinking through some things here. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to use the not today. I want to see what we can do and to see if we can get a thwip this next turn to stun him. So we're going to go ahead and just let him attack us. Why not? He will... Although the not today does draw us a card. Nah, we're just sticking to it. He's going to attack us. We're defending for 3. He's attacking for 2. 0. So we defend all that damage. Things do not happen. But now he's going to reveal an encounter card, in which we will use Spider Tingle. When we would reveal an encounter card, we're going to deal 1 damage to ourselves, because we're a Web Warrior character. And then, if that card is a Treachery, cancel its when revealed and discard Spider Tingle. Let's see what we get. We get a Treachery, Leaping Kick. I don't think we actually have the option to like not do this, but we don't want him to attack us anyway. Yes, yeah. And so one thing I forgot is to add the alert level. We're just going to use the Spider Tingle, and that will get rid of his Leaping Kick. Him attacking an ally with Overkill wouldn't be terrible, but that's fine. I don't know if we're able to choose whether or not we get rid of Spider Tingle since we're starting the interrupt. Yeah, so comes back over to us. We have our options here now. I am playing definitely very defensive, but I'm kind of okay with that. So a few of our options here are we could use 2 to remove 2 threat, or what we could do is use 2 to get rid of the alert level, and then spend... Oh wait, we can do both of these things. I don't have to... I could play a Spider Tingle, use 2 to get rid of the alert levels, and then hang on to a thwip, or use 2 to bring this down to 2. Iron Fist would just bring that down to 1. We don't want to get rid of Iceman yet. So again, walking through our options here. Spider Tingle, remove 2, hang on to thwip. That's not too bad. That brings us down to 8 health. Yeah, oh man. I'm kind of forgetting about just like the threat here, and we do want to take care of that, but I think I'm going to play more defensively right now. We're going to spend the Spider Tingle. Or I could use 2 to bring this down, and then 1 for the alert level. Yeah, let's do that. Still walking through these choices in my head here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring 2. I'm going to bring down the alert level. And then with thwip, I think for a sticky situation, I'm going to have George Stacy hang on to him, because I like the idea of having a thwip just kind of in our pocket if we need it. And so we have some things. We're still playing defensively here, but we want to make sure that we're ready for what's potentially going to be coming. So yeah, that works. We're going to just make that decision, move along with it. I think Iron Fist, as we're getting lower, I think I will just... No, I'll hang on to Iron Fist in case we have some annoying allies that we don't get to, that we end up having to deal with. Because this is just going up to 5, which is okay. So we're going to draw our cards. Ghost Kick, Web Binding, a Genius, a Web Bracelet, and another Spider Tingle. So what can we do here? Web Binding just straight up prevents him from attacking, and we can draw a card, which I don't hate the idea of by any means. George Stacy's readied. But then what could we do? I think I'd actually be okay with him attacking and then maybe ghost kicking instead. No. I don't know. I like the 2 mental resources for getting rid of the Chief Surveillance Officer. And then maybe... Web Bracelet is nice, but with this deck I've found I'm not doing too many events. So if I save these 2 for Chief Surveillance Officer... and then use... Oh man, I'm just kind of... Or Thwip would be good. I'm like running out of my choices here. I don't think Web Binding just prevents him from attacking. And then with our next turn, we either... Right, do another Spider Tingle. Maybe hang on to a Ghost Kick with George Stacy. But then we're still watching this go up. Yeah, I guess I don't know. We'll see. We'll try to build a little more. So we're going to go over to here. 1's going on the main. This goes up to 5. Batroc is going to attack. And then I think with that we will use the Web Binding. I'm going to use the 2 resources to use the Web Binding. And that's just going to cancel his activation. Web Bracelet goes off and draws us a card into the Power of Protection. And so now we just get our encounter card here. We're going to take a damage to use Spider Tingle. That goes ahead and... Alright, cancels our security cameras. So that is pretty good, actually. So Spider Tingle goes away. We're just playing very defensively right now, which I don't think is really getting us anywhere, unfortunately. So let's think what we want to do. We could Ghost Kick. Spider Tingle's been nice for us, but we're not getting much movement otherwise. So we could thwart. These 2 gets rid of 2. Oh, yeah, let's try to move it along a little bit. I'm going to use the Power of Protection and Spider Tingle instead to remove 1 from here. Then remove the 2 from here. This still doesn't get us moving. That's difficult. George Stacy can hang on to a Ghost Kick. Or I could just use these to... Thwip. Yeah, let's do that. I'm spending these 2. The choices here, I think I'm playing way too defensively. We're going to play the Thwip though. I'm going to deal damage. We go down to 7 health. Then we can do some stuns. We're just going to go ahead and stun Batroc here. And then we're going to thwart for 1 to bring this down to 2. Again, like the Iron Fist thwarting here isn't going to move much for us because of we still have a token on Iceman to hang on to. So again, we'll hang on to these guys. We're running slow here. And we'll see what we end up dealing with. I think it's going to bite us in the butt from going so slow. So we're going to do What Doesn't Kill Me, Jocasta, Come Get Me Bub, and a Ghost Kick. We get an encounter card for that. We shuffle. So yeah, I've just been playing defense right now, which is cool that this deck can do that, but in a solo game here, it's not really moving us along. So we get 1 more card, which is a Spider Tingle. Let's see what we can do. So we go over here. 1 goes onto the main. Goes to attack, but he's stunned. We get 2 encounter cards. First one is a Rapido. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is really difficult. So when he... I guess after a minion enters play, let's see, when revealed, response. I think the when revealed probably trumps the response here, so he's going to deal 1 damage to each character we control, and we just get wiped out. Okay. That's what we deserve, so... so dumb. I don't think we can do anything against that. No. Okay, we're struggling here. So we're going to deal damage to everyone. Ghost Spider. Both of these guys go. And then 2's going to go on the alert level because that was not consequential damage. This is absurd. Okay, alright, well. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. What do we do here? That was our first encounter card. Our next is... I don't know why I was exhausted. I shouldn't have been exhausted, but now we get to exhaust our identity, and this is going to surge into a security camera. This goes up by 1 because we can't exhaust. Okay, so we just got romped. And that was my own fault. Okay, what can we do here? 2 can play a what doesn't kill me. We could play... Trying to think of our options here. We could play a what doesn't kill me to get some healing. We can thwart for 1. Well, 2, yeah, here we have to spend at least a physical resource. Some other options, we can't ghost kick. Let's see what we can do. I think I have to play a what doesn't kill me, Jocasta with Jocasta and ghost kick. Otherwise, let's see, we could play Jocasta. We're just really, yeah, we're really stuck here. So that was a really, really brutal turn of events. Rapido here really was probably the worst card we could possibly get. So I could, unfortunately, I would have to spend these 2 to do the Chief Tactical to do 2 damage, which then doesn't let us do any damage. Anything else to Rapido here? So we can do a what doesn't kill me. Ready, heal 2 damage. I think I'm just going to risk flipping down this turn because I'm just kind of at my wit's end here. Let's use 2 to bring down the alert level. And then thwart for 1, flip down, and hope that we survive this next turn because I just don't really want to deal with Rapido and friends right now. So let's see. We're going to draw our 6 cards, see what we can do. We're drawing a Ticket to the Multiverse, Phantom Flip, Parental Guidance, What Doesn't Kill Me, a Phantom Flip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a Ghost Kick. Alrighty. So unfortunately nothing we can play in Alter Ego, but that's okay. So with this, we are going to go over to the main here. One's going to go on, and then this is going to go up. We still don't have a missing person, so hopefully we're going to get a little faster here. I think what I'm realizing is that I just need to hurry up the pace because I haven't built anything. I have a web bracelet and George Stacy. So apologies for just such a defensive gameplay here. We're going to scheme. He's scheming for 2, 3. This goes up to 6. Rapido is going to scheme for 1. Goes up to 7 out of 10. He gets an encounter card. It is an aim interference. We can either spend mental resources, so we can block 2, or next turn we could maybe do a little phantom flipping, hang on to 1, bring down alert level. Ooh, but Rapido, we don't like Rapido, so next turn we could ready and hang on to phantom flip. This is if we do 2. If we don't do 2, what doesn't kill me? Phantom flip and hang on to a phantom flip. Yeah, you know what, with the aim interference, I don't want to continue slowing down my pace here, so we're just going to add 3 to them again. 1, 2, and 3. So, maybe that had an insight 1, so I would have had to add 1. Alright, so there's the stupid aim interferences. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but that's crushing my soul a little bit. So that's what we can do here. We're going to ready up, or we're going to flip up. It's back to us. try to do some things here. I'm attacking for 2 onto Rapido. We'll play What Doesn't Kill Me. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think the timing of this matters as much, so we're going to use the What Doesn't Kill Me to ready and heal 2 damage back up to our full health of 10. Oh, in hindsight, yeah, let me get the order of that a little mixed up here. We're attacking for 2. Before we do the What Doesn't Kill Me, let's actually do our Phantom Flip with a Ghost Kick and a Parental Guidance, because we're going to get to draw a card and that could change some things. So we're going to use that Parental Guidance, removes 5 from here. So this is at what, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to come down to 3. So we're removing 5 threat here. That will then get, oh yeah, that will then ready us because we used an action. That will then kick off our Web Bracelet into another Phantom Flip, and then let's see what we can do here. Yeah. So I like this. I might just play another Phantom Flip and get rid of this. Start moving things along. Yeah, so I like this. We are going to go ahead and attack for 2 to get rid of Rapido. 1's going to go onto here. We will, after we attack, go ahead and Phantom Flip again to finally bring this down to 0. We'll get a Rescued Captive, put 3 back on there. Rescued Captive gets a ready. Then we will, what can we do now? We can hang on to maybe another Phantom Flip, and then a What Doesn't Kill Me can actually just go ahead and thwart down one of these. Now we have a bunch of tokens over here that we don't love seeing, but we're moving a little bit here. So now let's draw our cards. Ready everyone up. We're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty, so there's an energy token. Let's see. Okay, so nothing. I'm not too worried. There is an event we could play here, which I wouldn't mind because we get to remove more threat. So let's do that. Let's move over here. 1's going to go on the main. He's going to attack. We will defend, and I suppose in this case we will go ahead and use a Web Bracelet to play Not Today. We're defending for 5. He's attacking for 2, 3, 4. We take no damage, but we used a card. So we ready up, we draw a card, and then 2 comes off the main. This comes down to 2. Right, we could right now use a Web Kick, or Ghost Kick. I don't think that's doing much for us. So now we go into, that was his attack. 1's going to go on here. Let's remove 1. He gets a, when revealed, spend 3 resources of any type. Could just be these, honestly, or we can go get a minion. Do I really want to go get a minion? I could Ghost Kick a minion and then ready next turn and still thwart 2 off of here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and get a minion. What would be the best one to get? We know we've seen Rapido. It says and reveal it. So Rapido would get revealed. So that's one option. We could reveal Rapido and take a damage. Could reveal Machete, but I think then he would surge because he's being revealed. I think there's one more who would be Zoran. All he does is tuck a card under him, and then we can take care of him with a Ghost Kick. Yeah, forget about it. Let's do that. Let's go get Zoran. That gets him at least out of the encounter deck here, so we don't have to worry about if he comes in at a time we don't want. So Zoran comes in. When revealed, we tuck a weapon upgrade. We don't have a weapon upgrade, so we put the top card of our deck, which is Pirouette and Punch. That's fine. So technically 2 plus he has 3 attack right now. That's fine. That's the encounter card. And we're fine with that. So what we are going to do is, this is now readied. We are going to Thwart for 1. We will, yeah, that's the timing. This is okay. We're going to then use a Ghost Kick here to get rid of him. The reason I hesitated there was that this is going to go up by 1, but that's okay. Zoran goes away. He gets defeated. This goes up to 3. We're going to use this to ready, which means in that case, I will kind of need to use these two to, because yeah, I could use these two for the mental resource to help thwart, but instead we're going to go ahead and thwart for 1. What that does is bring out our next rescued captive. They're readied. This comes out with 3 tokens on it. I keep throwing my tokens into a farther spot that I don't need to do. I'm just going to use the singular 1 tokens right now because the rescued captive comes in exhausted. 1 rescued captive will take 1 away from there. We will, you know what, we're going to use 1 of these. Oop, that's the wrong spot. 1 of these to get rid of it, alert level, and then the other one we're actually going to hang on to with George Stacy, because now we have a Thwip on hand and a Phantom Flip. So let's ready everyone up. We're going to ready. And yeah, we like this. I could flip down, which might not be the worst option here. Yeah, it's something in me kind of wants to flip down right now, because we have our Phantom Flip that could help with this. I don't want to keep adding to alert level right now. So yeah, let's thwart down. What? Well, and then we can shuffle a Ticket to the Multiverse back in. So Ticket to the Multiverse flips us down. We're unlikely to, you know, pop the scheme here, so that wouldn't be too bad. We will shuffle. We're going to draw 1, Pirouette and Punch, a What Doesn't Kill Me, a Not Today, a Web Binding, a Genius, and a Specialized Training. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Okay. Now, Specialized Training in a Phantom Flip is pretty nice. We'll see what we choose to do. We go over. This goes up to 3. Batroc will scheme. That is going to go up to 2 plus. Oh my gosh. All right, so 2, we've seen all of our aim interferences. So 2 plus, what's it called here? So he's scheming for 3. Let's just put that on. But then the boost card is doing this. Do we have fist resources to spend? Could do a What Doesn't Kill Me. Yeah, being in expert mode, we do have to spend 1 resource here to prevent one of these from going on. So now we have both of these up to 2. So we're back to where we were with all these being up to 2, like in the previous game. I can't believe we saw all 3 of those, especially when the first action I wanted to do in this game was using Silk to get rid of these, but that's okay. We're going to live with that. And that was just his boost card, so we love to see that. So now we get an encounter card of security cameras. The security cameras in Alter Ego, we remove a threat and it gains Surge. So that's not too bad. This gains Surge. And then, all right, we get a side scheme. Batroc's Big Brigade is going to come in with 6. Each enemy comes in with a tough status card. We're okay with that. And then if we reveal a non-elite minion, we can spend some resources. That's okay. So what are our options here? I think down here we're just going to go ahead and flip up. Let's see, the things, we can't really play anything, which is fine, because we can use... I think I've given up on the thought of using Specialized Training, honestly. Because if I... Let's think. I think we want to get moving with the thwarting here because we feel like we're in a decent place. Yeah, let's go ahead and thwart for 1. That brings us down to 5, right? And then we can go ahead and use, these are all mental resources, so it doesn't matter. We'll use 2 the genius to go ahead and play a phantom flip. That will remove the remaining 5 from here. We get another rescued captive. Comes in exhausted. This comes in with 3. We ready from the phantom flip. We draw a card with the web bracelet. Ooh, and into another web binding. Let's see, our 2 rescued captives. Yeah, I feel comfortable doing it this way. This is, yeah, this is a good idea here. Our 2 rescue captives will bring this down to 1. And then we'll thwart the final one. Okay, so now when we do that, this is our final rescued captive. Comes in exhausted. Oop, comes in exhausted. And things now happen. So when we do that, we advance to 3A. When revealed, this is not on, if it's on its side, we would get an encounter card. It is not. Instead, we remove all the threat, flip it to high, and place 2 per person on here. That's fine. And then this is going to flip up, and it comes in with force interrupt. When an enemy attacks, it attacks a rescue captive instead. That's fine. And then comes in with 12. Going to come in with 12 of these. So we're not going to be worried about Batroc's big brigade here, but we can do 2 things. We could potentially flip him, but no, we want to hang on to 1 event here. So let's take 1 of the web bindings before we think too much about it. 1 of the web bindings in 1 of the specialized trainings, or the specialized training, we'll get rid of surveillance officer token and bring 2 down on here. The 1 pirouette and punch will take off an alert level, and then we can either remove the final token from there or use the thwip, or hang on to 1 of these. Thwip stuns him. It also hurts our health. Yeah, let's see. Do I want to remove 2 more? No, I think I want to maybe web bind him next turn. Nah, let's do it this way. Let's hang on to a not today. Let's spend a web binding to get rid of an alert level. And let's ready everyone up. Okay, so this isn't too bad here. We're gonna ready everyone up. We're trying to get the threat down to 0, but at the same time, try to bring down these. We'll see how that goes for us. So we're gonna draw 5 cards. A Silk, a Spider Tingle, Come Get Me Bub, Not Today, and a Come Get Me Bub. Okay, so with these, let's see what we want to do. I think at least 1 Come Get Me Bub. We'll play the Not Today over here, and we can think about that. So 1's going to go over here. Bam. He goes to attack. We will defend because he's attacking. He also has +1 thwart and attack. I'll put this here so I remember that. We will defend here, and then we're going to play, use a Come Get Me Bub to play our Not Today under George Stacy. So we're defending for 5. He's attacking for 3, 4. So we defend all that damage. We ready. We draw a card. And, oh, that's awesome. 2 comes off the main scheme. So this goes down to 3. So we're officially at 9 here. And that works. So with that, he has an encounter card, and we hope it's not too bad. So his encounter card is Caught Off Guard. Okay, discard an upgrade or support you control. I think it's going to be okay to get rid of George Stacy, I guess, because I want to hang on to our web bracelet. So George Stacy and Thwip Thwip, get the boot. That's fine. We can deal with that. We're going to start our strength here. Is going to go ahead and remove 1 counter, and it will also deal 2 damage. That just goes on to Batroc over here. And then this is technically readied. No, I don't think I want to use a Come Get Me Bub. Each rescued captive. If I use a Come Get Me Bub, technically the rescued captives could do some work in attacking that villain. But my worry here is that it's going to be a soldier or whoever brings out the aim scientist as well. Yeah, I don't think the Come Get Me Bub's worth it. So in that case, what can we do here? All 4 of these are going to activate and bring this down to 5. We're going to thwart to bring this down to 4. And some things can happen now. We can probably hang on to it not today for next turn. Or I play a Spider Tingle. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's use these 2 to go ahead and remove 1 from the Chief Surveillance Officer. That's going to bring this down to 2. And then we'll play a Spider Tingle to hopefully save us from a really difficult treachery card. And then we'll draw up to our hand size here. After he attacked last turn, I believe I forgot to do an alert, put 1 on the alert level, so I'm just going to do that now. Yeah, that works. We decked out, or we're about to deck out. We're drawing 1, 2, a Thwip Thwip, Ticket to the Multiverse, Spider Tingle, Power of Protection, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Power of Protection. Okay, so we get our encounter card, we shuffle up. Everyone's going to ready. We feel pretty good about this right now. So we'll see what actually happens here. So we will ready all that. Ready everyone up. Rescue captives. Everyone's doing their part here. So we got our cards. We have a ton of wild resources, which is awesome for our tokens over here. So we're probably going to try to just do all that and finish off this game. That is actually pretty sweet. We can nearly get rid of all the tokens. 1 might be remaining. So goes over to Batroc. This goes up to 3. He is going to attack. We will defend because I think we have to. Or technically, yeah, we don't want to lose one of our rescued captives, so we'll defend. He is attacking for 3. And I don't think we have anything. Yeah, we have no events that could be used. So he's attacking for 3 with his boost. 4. So we do take a damage. That's okay. Down to 7 health. 1 goes on the alert level. And then we get 2 encounter cards. So we're going to use the Spider Tingle. That brings us down to 6 health. He brings out an aim soldier, which is okay. Patrol. The rescue captives actually get around patrol, so that's okay. And then we will Spider Tingle again down to 5 health. And he brings out... Oh gosh, that's the aim soldier. My bad. So he goes to get and gets the aim scientist. So let's go grab that aim scientist. He comes out. That's still fine. When he's revealed, he goes to get the aim scientist. So I'm trying to think. Yes, hopefully I did that earlier in the game when the soldier came out, but they're here, they're okay, and he's just being put into play. And so then we took 1 for the Spider Tingle, which is a leaping kick, so we just discard Spider Tingle, we discard leaping kick, and we're back. So we have these 2 minions, right, we can end the game right here, but I think we're going to do... try to do some stuff here. What can we do? Yeah, I think in this game, like, we're just gonna have to finish the game here because we can't really risk flipping down and moving this along. So we're gonna use Ticket to the Multiverse to remove this and heal 1 up to 6, and then we'll use our other 2 wild resources to do another one of these chief medical officers, and so we're going to heal 1 more, so we go back up to 7 health. And now, right, we can't do really anything else here. We're just going to let the rescued captives 1, 2, and 3, we're going to let them bring down this down to 0, which gives us the win, right? I mean, just in case, I can't remember exactly. I'm going to spend these 2 to get rid of the alert levels. I don't think that does anything with our victory steps, but we can do it that way. So that is Batroc on expert mode. We experienced playing very safe in the early rounds. It kind of sludged us up. We didn't really get that far, but at the end of the day, we ended up making it through, so I'm happy about that. We continue on with Ghost Spider here and beat the mission. So I think, yeah, there we go. We have saved our captives. We'll go look at our victory steps here. So with Batroc, our victory steps, we record the number of rescued captive allies in the player in play in the campaign log, so that's going to be 4. We record the number of secret counters on each board member. The chief tactical officer has 1 counter on it, and then at least one of these have no counters, so we will go get our shield card here. So we're going to come into here. We will draw the top shield card here. It is going to be a wiretap. So each player may add 1 secret counter to the board member to search their collection for a different justice ally and shuffle it into the deck. And then we can add 1 threat to the main scheme to go get a justice ally. I'm trying to think who we could potentially use there. That's not too bad. I don't know if we're going to end up using this, honestly, but right, we can now have justice supports or a justice ally. So we have the wiretap. Looking in the back here, we can go ahead and maybe I'll put this up on a screen and then, cancel it out from a visual here. I think I will do that, but as we're talking through it, we have travel and wiretap, so we, can take out the wiretaps, take out the travels, and we're left with, a decent amount of remaining options of who this mole is. And then I think the final thing here, we can see what happens, right? 2 hours later after beating Batroc, the embassy intel says Inhumans were sent to an underwater AIM facility. Shouldn't we clear this with the board? Yeah, and embassy is one thing, AIM Island itself is another. If AIM has a mole on board, as we suspect, we can't really tip them off, huh? So 2 miles off the coast of the AIM Island, we go underwater, and we're in a lab, and it's Sarah Garza saying, "Director, I'm glad to see you. Hold tight, Garza. We'll get you out of there." And there he is. It's Mr. MODOK. "Now, my work must not be interrupted. You must die." So we're coming out to face MODOK next turn, or this next game, and I thank you so much for joining along. If you've made it this far with me, please like and subscribe below. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch you next time.